was the only state with 74 gematria. And 74 is a very important number. Look at this here. Oregon, the only state with 74 gematria, the 33rd state. Think about Jesus being crucified on the cross at 33. Jesus equals 74. Cross, 74. Messiah, 74. Gospel. The Greek spelling Yeshua, 74. The English translation of Jesus is Joshua, which equals 74. English and gematria equals 74. Gematria, much older than English, and from my research, it very much seems that English is built on gematria. Alphabetic order with Pythagorean gematria, 74. Masonic, Jewish, 74. Think about how they say Jesus was Jewish. And here, every town for gun safety stats that they keep for us says 74th shooting since Sandy Hook. It almost makes me wonder if they're planning it by the numbers. So Michael Bloomberg, he had a partner, a co-chair for this gun lobby that he founded in 2006, Thomas M. Menino. Thomas M. Menino died recently. He died in October 2014. He died October 30th, 2014. Look at the numerology of the date he died on, Truth Seeker. 74. His co-chair for this lobby that does things by the numbers and reports by the numbers. A date with a life lesson number of 47. October, the only month with 33 gematria. They said he died of cancer. Cancer, chemo, and kill all have gematria of 44. This is no coincidence. Notice that he died at the age of 71. I want to show you something about 71. Remember how we talked about how 44 and 144 go together? 71, the only number besides 44 that has a gematria of 144. Probably why he died at age 71 on this specific date, and I doubt it had anything to do with cancer. Here's that stat that they were getting questioned on, reporting that 1.37 school shootings have occurred every single week since Sandy Hook. Remember, 137, the 33rd prime. Newtown, where Sandy Hook happened, Newtown having 33 gematria. All these numbers that routinely show up. Remember the first parent to go out smiling to the world asking for donations to his Facebook account? Robbie Parker. All 33s, Truth Seeker. And with regards to Facebook, definitely started up by suspicious sources. Facebook having that gematria 58 for Freemasonry. A lot of people point out how the Facebook symbol has 13 people on it. 5 plus 8, 13. So we pretty much covered it all, Truth Seeker. From the day of the meeting between Obama and Bloomberg today to Lupercalia, the 44th day of the year is 58 days from today. Keep that in mind. If anything does happen to Obama, I suspect it will be by these exact same numbers we've revealed here. To his birthday, interestingly enough, remember he's born February 14th, Michael Bloomberg, is a span of 59 days. And what do we know about that number? Don't kid yourself. These people line things up like this in history often by these same numbers and measure from birthdays. Common practices that we've revealed time and time again. Something really creepy, Truth Seeker. In 1961, the year Obama was born, on the Andy Griffith Show, there was an episode of a bootlegging family getting busted with the address traced back to 411 Elm Street. 411 Elm Street is where JFK was supposedly shot from. 411's the number for assassin in Jewish gematria. Obama was born exactly 144 days before that Andy Griffith show aired. the one that foreshadowed the death of JFK, the 44th term president. Check this out, Truth Seeker. Also, notice that Obama was born in the 100-year anniversary of the Civil War. This episode with the bootlegging family, 411 Elm Street. This is it, Truth Seeker. From August 4th, 1961, the day Obama was born, to the day the Andy Griffith episode aired with the bootlegging family at 411 Elm Street, exactly 144 days prior. This number so very much connected to assassination. Where do the coincidences end, you know? Where do they end, Truth Seeker? Lincoln died not long after giving the Gettysburg Address. Should anything happen to Obama, it'll be President Biden, whose wife, her name, also happens to sum to 144 in Gematria. I make these points because, should anything happen, this just goes to show how well it's all planned out. I've always wondered why Biden was the vice president anyway, a political nobody who's never accomplished anything in his career. Some last closing points. We talked a lot about between the connections from Obama to Lincoln and Kennedy, the first presidential assassination and the most recent. Remember, JFK was the 44th term president. He went by the name John F. Kennedy. Look at the gematria of John F. Kennedy, Truth Seeker. 59. Remember, 44 and 59, the kill numbers. 59 in Jewish gematria, 44 in simple English. The name Kennedy alone is a 33 name, and almost all of the deaths in the Kennedy family are heavily connected to the number 33. JFK shot on 11/22, the first day of Sagittarius. No coincidence. He was shot in Dealey Plaza, named after a 33rd degree Freemason. The Zapruder film that came out years later was made by a 33rd degree Freemason. You cannot trust that film. Could be full of all sorts of edits. Again, it is the Freemasons and the Zionists who are responsible for this numerological coding. Michael Bloomberg, who started Everytown for gun safety in 2006. An important point, the next big mass shooting after this was established was at Virginia Tech. You remember this shooting during the Bush administration, April 16th, 2007. 33 people dead at Virginia Tech. This date is a date with 47 numerology. 4 plus 16, 20 plus 20, 40 plus 7 more, 47. Always this same set of numbers. Very important numbers to the nations, the Masons, and the Zionists. Think about how our nation's birthday is July 4th. 4th day, 7th month. No coincidence. This nation was established by the numbers. It's been ruled by the numbers. We've been given propaganda and a whole lot more our entire lifetimes by the numbers. Got to wake up and hold the right parties accountable. Michael Bloomberg, a Jew. It is Zionist Jews who control our media and effectively control our government. In the comments, in the description, I'm going to link the assassination playlist. Please watch those videos. I show how the deaths of Malcolm X, Martin Luther King Jr., several presidents in office, and more have all been around this same set of numbers that we talked about here in this video. Alright, Truth Seeker, until next time. Encore, one last important point. The meeting date between Bloomberg and Obama, a date with 44 numerology, the number that connects both of them, also a date with 64 numerology, a number that's significant to both men as well. Let's begin with the Zionist importance. Israel, the Zionist state, has gematria of 64. Zion for Zionism, gematria of 64. And Thelema is the religion that worships the number 93, that's about do what thou wilt, also having this gematria of 64. Israel as a nation also very much worships the number 93. Their Congress having gematria of 93. In history, Israel was drawn up September 3rd, 1947. No coincidence. The phrase in Thelema, the occult religion, is do what thou wilt, having gematria of 64 as well. These Zionists, that's pretty much the way they behave as tyrants, as rulers, doing whatever they will with whatever propaganda means necessary, from September 11th to false shootings and everything else we're bombarded with. As for how this number is important to Obama, check this out, Truth Seeker. Barack Hussein Obama, Pythagorean gematria equals 64. Barry, for Barry Soetoro in simple English gematria, equals 64. Civil rights equals 64. The Civil Rights Act happened in 64. 100 years earlier, in 1864, at the end of the Civil War where we began, that was the first time in history that the U.S. Congress debated legislation about giving rights to people of racial color other than white in 1864. Again, this nation has always been run by the numbers, likely no coincidence. It was the 88th Congress that enacted the Civil Rights Act of 64. 8 times 8 is 64. Obama was elected the 44th president 44 years after the 64 Civil Rights Act in 2008, running on hope, gematria 44. And back in 2008, when I didn't know gematria, I had enough sense and paid enough attention to government and what was going on to tell everybody that the only purpose of the Obama administration was to kill hope, to create a generation of cynics, and have people tune out even further. Because this guy has always been nothing more than a politician, a talker with no action behind his words, which he proved while running for president, but the sheeple who supported him weren't paying attention to what was really going on. They were just paying attention to the bullshit in the mainstream media. Obama, a Zionist agent, the first thing he did as president was go before AIPAC, Israel's lobby. So 44, 64, significant numbers to the Zionists, significant to Obama. Yesterday, Obama meeting with one of his Zionist handlers, Bloomberg. One more point, Truth Seeker. From the date JFK was assassinated to the Civil Rights Act, July 2nd, 1964, was a span of 223 days, and this is no coincidence. Also know that July 2nd is the midway point of the calendar year. Divide and conquer. Since the Civil Rights Act for Black Americans in this nation, their quality of life has declined. That's not an opinion, that's a fact. Black Americans are doing worse today than they were July 2nd, 1964. All throughout history, we're given these fake token celebrations, such as the Civil Rights Act. The government does that on one hand. Meanwhile, they start constructing other laws, new penalties, start shipping drugs into communities so that they can be targeted and destroyed as they are to black communities in this nation. That's all the government gives us, fake token symbolism to keep the morale high enough, while the evil doing goes on right beside it. Tactics many people still haven't woken up to. This number 223, it connects back to the Masons, Masonic in Jewish gematria, 223. In the Bible, in Revelation, it says the false Jews will rule in the end times. They're referred to as the synagogue of Satan, gematria of 223. People like Michael Bloomberg, all the Zionist Jews in high places. There's a lot of them. Now we're bombarded with phrases like this: domestic terrorism after these fake shootings, 223, no coincidence. Learn this number code, you'll learn history and what's really been going on all this time, truth seeker.